Cayenne.
This will surprise you. I've been doing some research. Now, is that not old Brazilian for pepper, Kurt?
Isn't it the capital of French Guiana?
What, did you see one?
Guyana.
No, you mean Guyana.
Ah, yes, yes.
No,
yes.
sorry, Guyana, yeah. Look, irrespective of what that is, we've got 3 of them.
That's right. Is it 3 Cayenne or 3 Cayennes?
That I didn't research. Let's go with herd.
Okay, whatever the case, we've got a herd of Cayennes. This is the all-new 3rd generation Cayenne. And we've assembled the base version
No, mate,
and the turbo.
No, mate, no.
And
No, the turbo. That's the turbo, that's the base, and that one's the S.
Are you sure?
No.
That's the S, that's the base.
And that's the turbo. So, this is our first ever premium range review. The readers have been asking for it. We've assembled 3 Cayennes to help buyers decide which is the best.
And we're going to choose which of the 3 is Car Advice's pick of the herd.
Well, mate, that should be easy, is it not? I mean, you get the turbo, it's the quickest.
You'd think it'd be easy. We've deep dived into this all-new Cayenne locally and overseas in reviews past, but here's a quick refresher of the highlights. This 3rd generation is larger in size and lower in height, with sharper styling and more pronounced shoulders. It's a little more 911 in general vibe. This includes the strip light treatment in the rear end and, for the first time, staggered wheels with fatter rubber in the rear. The new Cayenne is also roomier inside with an extra 100 litres of luggage space. But the real knockout is the cleaner, slicker cabin redesign. Under the skin, there are revised powertrains, new chassis systems, world-first tungsten carbide-coated brakes, and even optional rear-wheel steering. This is not only a quicker breed of Cayenne on the road, but it's also loaded with clever off-road modes, including a new design of height-adjustable air suspension in higher spec versions. Let's start with the base Cayenne, which is simply called Cayenne.
Yeah, except it doesn't look cheap. I mean, have a look at it. It's certainly, there's nothing about it that's cheap, certainly not compared to these 2 more expensive ones.
Now, it starts for around $116,000, and I reckon it looks more expensive than that. In fact, I reckon it looks great.
No, I'd say it's a better looking Cayenne, but I think the term great might be stretching the friendship a little.
And I wouldn't get too fond of those 21-inch wheels either if you're a penny pinching, because they're a $7,500 option.
That hurts. All right, let's have a look at the cabin. I reckon Porsche has made a huge leap forward with the cabin of this Cayenne, mate. It used to be a sea of buttons. It was really messy. The console especially. Now look how they've tidied it up. You've got this really classy, neat glass finish, touch stuff, and it just looks so much more premium.
They've derived a lot of it from Panamera too, and I really like the 12.3-inch high-def touchscreen. It's super slick.
Absolutely, and you get this neat sports car-like steering wheel. That feels really good when you're driving. Another factor that I love is the central tacho, which is very 911-esque. Either side of that, you have digital screens and you can adjust what's in them. It's really, really great as a driver.
Yeah, the whole ambient proves that Porsche doesn't do cheap, so it's not like you get cloth trim or AM radio or any of that kind of basic stuff. And even the double stitching on the back of the headrest is just, everything's just so nice.
And what's it like in the back, mate?
Well, the seats have got slide and tilt adjustments, so you've got the flexibility to sort of tune up as much space in the back here as you want. Seats are nice and comfy, and I'm kind of partial to this tan leather interior.
Yeah, but bear in mind that black Mojave beige is an $870 option. So, well, that's the base Cayenne. Let me show you something. Let's see what a bit more money buys. The Cayenne S, Kurt, costs $155,000, which is a full 40 grand more than the base car.
With the 40 grand you save opting for the base Cayenne, you could buy a hot hatch fun machine, or 2 supercharged jet skis, or even a summer holiday in the Greek Isles for the whole family. And something that I've noticed about this as well, it looks exactly the same as the base car.
Exactly right. And in a similar vein to the base car, those attractive 21-inch alloy wheels, in this case, they're an $8,000 option. Let's have a look inside.
Okay.
Notice anything different?
It's black, not tan.
Thanks for the tip, Scoop. Aside from the colour.
It's absolutely identical inside.
Yeah, funny you should mention that. For your $40,000, the only real differences on the inside the cabin are the heated seats, alloy pedals, the glass sunroof, and what I have to say is a pretty high quality Bose audio system.
But even the base car gets 14-way electric seats, digital radio and smartphone mirroring as well.
The only real negative for me, if there is one, is some of the switchgear. The headlight switches over here can be a little confusing, and some of the controls through the infotainment system can be a bit difficult to navigate, but I guess that's the same across all three Cayennes.
I'm starting to think the only real difference between these cars is the engine and suspension, so should we hit the road? So your neighbours might not be able to pick that you've skimped and saved and mortgaged the kids to get into the not cheap but highly affordable base version. But it does get the basement level single turbo 3 litre V6. It's got 250 kilowatts and 450 newton metres, but when you're hauling around over 2 tonnes, acceleration isn't exactly what you'd call Porsche-like. So the 0 to 100 km/h sprint is 6.2 seconds. But where it really shines is on the move. All Cayennes get a brilliant 8-speed automatic and permanent all-wheel drive. In-gear response is excellent and it really feels as quick as it needs to be.
The S gets a slightly smaller 2.9 litre V6, but don't be fooled. This twin turbo is a different engine to the base car. It's more hardcore in vibe and it makes a superior 324 kilowatts and 550 newton metres. Not only is the S a full second quicker to 100, it sounds like a sports car engine as well. And you get those little blurps on the upshift. Unlike the base Cayenne, the S also gets Porsche's latest adaptive air suspension, which adjusts the ride and handling to suit various conditions, but also adjusts the ride height itself. Handling is what we'd call decent for a large SUV, but it's not so much the handling, it's the ride comfort that really impresses with this Cayenne. It manages to iron out even the worst road conditions despite erring on the side of a sports suspension system.
The base car gets steel suspension, but it does get adaptive damping. Now, I've driven both the steel and the airbag suspension in the more expensive Cayennes, and I have to tell you, when it comes to ride and handling, there's really not much difference between them. Which just leaves us with the turbo.
Look, I've got a red hot tip for you, champ. They're all turbos.
No. That's a turbo.
Yes, exactly. That's a Cayenne S. That's a turbo.
But which one's the turbo?
But this is the point I'm trying to make. They're all turbos. 1, 2, 3, all turbos. Now, this is not a difficult concept for you to grasp. They're all turbos.
It's easy. This is the turbo.
No.
Because it's got 2 turbochargers.
No.
And that's
the
turbo.
Look, okay, here you go, champ. Let me make it easy for you. Let's drive the black one. How about that?
All right. The real turbo gets a 4-litre bi-turbo V8, making 404 kilowatts and 770 newton metres. And it'll hit triple figures in just 4.1 seconds, or 3.9 seconds with Sport Chrono. It gets massive 10-piston tungsten carbide-coated brakes, it has an active roof spoiler, and yes, those 21-inch wheels come as standard fitment.
This thing costs 240 grand, mate. That is a lot of money.
So it's twice the price of the base Cayenne.
Yeah, before on roads.
So that's $123,000 more expensive. You know what you could buy with $123,000 other than buying, 2 base Cayennes.
2 base Cayennes, yeah.
You could buy 88,000 litres of fuel. Less boring, another Porsche. That's actually fun. Or head to Tuscany for a whole year. Above and beyond the S, you get full leather trim, these sport seats with adaptive bolsters, rear seat heating, and Alcantara headlining. There's a dial on the steering wheel that has Sport Plus. Let's try that out.
Yeah, okay. Feel that thing take off. That's quick for a big SUV.
Sounds good, but it goes great, doesn't it?
It does. But let's be honest, what are you going to do with all that power in Australia?
True. So let's put it in comfort mode and see how the turbo goes in comfort mode.
So you breathed on that and you're already doing 100 in 100 zone, but in comfort mode, let me tell you, I'm boring, but it's quiet and it's comfortable, funnily enough. Very nice.
Yeah, but don't the other two also do quiet and comfortable?
They're all comfortable. Yeah, that's true. Now, here's the problem with the turbo, Kurt. Unless you commute to work on an autobahn, and I've checked, I've done some more research, there's none of those in Australia, or unless your kids live at the other end of a racetrack, all of the performance of this thing is utterly useless.
Here's another problem with the turbo. This car gets rear wheel steering, Porsche Torque Vectoring Plus, and Sport Chrono. But they're all options. So bundle that all up, have a guess how much it's worth.
Tell me.
$272,000 before on-roads.
Me!
Which brings us to the base car and the S, both of which have 20 grand's worth of options, but they're mostly just superfluous window dressing and easily ignored.
Well, they really are, and look, if you drive these as luxury SUVs the way most buyers will, you're honestly splitting hairs to try to find any difference between them.
I've got a theory. I reckon that Porsche's done such a good job with the core Cayenne product that it must be difficult for them to pull that goodness out to build a basic car down to a cost.
And let's be honest, the only real difference between the S and the base car are the suspension systems that Porsche's used. And for me, you know, the extra 40 grand that you spend on the S, it just feels like dead money.
For me, day in, day out, the pick of this test is the basic Cayenne. And I reckon it's going to be the same for the majority of most buyers.
You know what? I completely agree with you. What do you guys think? Did we get this verdict right or wrong? Head to caradvice.com for the full written review and let us know what you think about this verdict in the comments section below.